my Train Rex. Welcome to something a little different. This is usually where I will post my manga reviews. However, this time I have a manhwa review. What is manhwa? If I am pronouncing that correctly, please let me know. If I am not, please correct me. Manhwa is similar to manga, except for it comes from Korea. So where manga comes from Japan, manhwa comes from usually South Korea. I have not actually heard of any North Korean manhwa. It's possible that they exist, but I do know that South Korea is a little bit more open to, you know, things outside of their own country, whereas North Korea is... yikes. Okay. So, today I am going to be reviewing the first 3 volumes, that one belongs there, of the manhwa Boy Princess. So, I also have these reviews up on my Goodreads and on my blog. Those will be linked below. Alright, so, where to begin? As you know, if you've watched my previous video, I am a trans guy. What does that mean? It means I was born assigned the female gender at birth. However, that does not fit how I feel internally. Yes, I love makeup. Yes, I love looking pretty. Yes, I have crushes on guys on occasion, but none of that really matters because inside, I know I am male. I might not be the most masculine guy in the world, but I'm a dude. I do plan on starting tea as soon as I can find a doctor who will prescribe it to me, as well as I am working with a psychiatrist and a therapist on my gender dysphoria. I do wear binders. It's hard because I have massive breasts, and it's one of those things that no matter how much makeup I put on, no matter how socially masculine I make myself, I look at myself and I do not feel like the guy I am inside. So it's rough, it's difficult, and it's something that I think we need to discuss more and have more open conversations about these kinds of things. Why do I bring this up? Boy Princess starts out with a very interesting premise. What if a prince is forced to become a princess to keep his kingdom and his husband's kingdom from warring? This kind of shoehorning, forced drag is usually not something I like. In fact, it's usually something that I find offensive. However, Boy Princess does it right, because it's not just, oh hey, I'm a guy in drag. It's a character learning to understand his sexuality, learning to understand how he feels about himself, about his own gender. It's not as heavy-handed as I thought it was going to be. It's actually nice and light. It is difficult to read. I feel like the English translation is kind of botched. That opened up to a sexy page. The art style isn't exactly fantastic. A lot of the characters suffer from same face syndrome, which as an artist is something that I actually deal with quite a bit. Anyway, so what is the main premise of Boy Princess? I've already said, Prince A is forced to marry Prince B to keep their kingdoms from going to war. This book is less of boys' love and haha guy in a dress, and more political intrigue, like not quite Game of Thrones level shit, but it gets pretty deep. There's a cast of characters in here who they're looking to screw over each other's kingdoms. There are so many subplots and things going on and people being slithery little eels to each other, and it's kind of fantastic. So the 2 main princes, there is Prince Jed, who is like the cold, calculating, very materialistic guy. He's like the head of his father's army, I believe. And he's also the second in line to inherit the throne, so they think marrying him off to this other kingdom's princess is just kind of like we'll get rid of two things with one stone. One, that kingdom won't want to fight us, and two, Jed, he is there, he has a wife, he can't complain. Where it goes wrong is that Prince Nicole, yes, his name is Nicole, his sister, I believe her name was Elena, leaves before she can marry Jed. She falls in love with a stable hand and runs away to be with him. So that leaves this entire kingdom without a princess. The king, in 5 seconds, with his 2 older sons, is like, hey, you're a pretty boy, Nicole. You're gonna pretend to be a woman. And Nicole's like, okay. It's literally how fast it goes. And that's something that I really have an issue with this manga. Its pacing is terrible. The English translation is terrible, the pacing is terrible, and same face syndrome is just yikes. So where does it start getting good is in volume 2. After Prince Nicole is outed to Prince Jed, neither of them really seem to care that Nicole isn't actually a woman. It's not really the main focus of the story, like, oh ho, guy in drag. It's a trap, which is a terrible word, never use it. It's more, oh, you're a guy. That's cool. You wanna get to know each other? And they kind of do. There's this really nice slow burn romance in here that I was not expecting. Usually with this kind of stuff, character A and character B fall in love at first sight. And for Nicole, who is a younger character, it kind of is that way, but for Jed, it's definitely not. And throughout the 3 volumes that I own, they're still trying to figure out if they love each other. The closest they get to admitting that they love each other is, hey, I like you. Which, whoa, okay, you're taking it that slow. That's awesome. So anyway, where it gets interesting is in volume 2 when Princess Elena comes back. She returns from being with the guy she thought she loved because he was afraid that he was ruining her. He was afraid that she was a princess and she deserved so much better than anything a stable hand could ever afford her. So she returns to the kingdom. The king is like, hey, okay, let's switch out Nicole and Elena. Or Elena? My apologies, I have an issue with remembering names. Anyway, she comes back, they switch. And suddenly Nicole is like, wait, but I was married to Jed. Does that mean nothing now? And it's just, it was surprisingly good. And the 3rd volume is when, if I remember correctly, is when Jed and Nicole kind of rediscover each other. They admit that they have feelings for each other. But in the political climate? Thank you, words. That they're both trapped in, they can't really afford to present themselves as anything other than brothers-in-law. And all the while that this is going on, there are these other characters in the background who are like, I can't let, this character have a child because that means this character will suddenly lose power, or, we have to poison this person to make it look like they've become ill, or there's this whole subset with a tribe of healers who know how to both heal and poison, and what are they doing? Like, what's going on there? And there are some characters that are introduced and not really fleshed out because it's oh wait, we're supposed to keep our eyes on that person, but all of this is going on, so what are we supposed to do? And it's really interesting. Unfortunately, the manga is very difficult to find. It took me almost 2 years to just track down these 3 volumes, and I got them all used. One is definitely from Thrift Books. One I managed to find at my local resale shop, my local book resale shop, and it was only $2.50 when I had applied my little bit of credit that I had left. And I don't remember where I got the first volume. It might have been off of Thrift Books as well, but yeah. So would I recommend Boy Princess? Here's the thing. If you're into political intrigue, if you don't mind slow burn romance, if you don't mind something that's a little difficult to read because of poor translation and poor pacing, then yeah, I would say pick it up, give it a go. You know, it's probably available at a library near you, or you might be able to track down a couple of volumes online to read. But if you're looking for like the stereotypical haha boy in a dress falls in love with pretty guy, oh no, can't let him know I have a dick, don't pick it up because this is not for you. And would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend at least the first 3 volumes. I don't know where it goes after this. If this sounds interesting to you, I would definitely pick it up. Yeah. Jesus Christ, I hit the desk. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later, my train wrecks. Bye.